Hello and welcome to our session today about advanced trigonometry to find lengths in non-right angle triangles. So today we will find the unknown lengths in non-right angle triangles using the cosine rule method. And the cosine rule method is a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine of capital A. Remember to have your calculators in degree setting for this lesson. So we need two lengths and one angle in the triangle to find a length using the cosine rule. So step 1, we label side A and then opposite that angle A is a little a. Let me demonstrate. Okay, so what we've got is our triangle here, and I'm going to call this side here A, this one here B, and this one here C. So this vertex here is A, this vertex here is B, and this one here is C. So the side opposite capital A is little a, the side opposite capital B is little b, and the side opposite capital C is little c. So now we write down the formula, which is a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine of A. And basically we use this formula and we can rearrange it as well. So for instance, the other two permutations are b squared equals a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cosine of B, and the other one is c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine of C. Okay, so now we substitute our knowns into the formula and then we solve, and if necessary we change side, change sign. Okay, so page 2. So first of all, what we've got to do here is we have got to label our triangle. Now the way that I have done it is I have said that this side here is B, so I'm just trying to keep it consistent with my working out. This side here is little c, this side here is A, so that means that this vertex here is capital A, this one here is capital B, and this one here is capital C. Okay, so basically you can see there that the vertex C, big C, the side opposite that is little c, and so on. So vertex B, little b is opposite, and A. So first of all, what we're going to say here is we're trying to work out angle side X, which is A. So we know that capital A, and that's angle A, is 38 degrees, and we'll use little c is 10.5, and little b is 7 centimeters. Okay, so what we do is we recognize the cosine rule, and that is when you've got two lengths and the included angle. So you've got that length which is connected to that length and then the angle between the two of them, and then that means it's cosine rule. So therefore we write down our general formula, a squared equals b squared plus c squared, and this bit here looks a bit like Pythagoras theorem, and then we've got the minus 2bc cosine of A. So now we substitute in. So from our diagram we know that A is x, B is 7, C is 10.5, and this means 2 times B times C, and I've just written that like brackets. Okay, so that means basically 2 times 7 times 10.5 times cosine of 38. And the capital A is the angle A, which as we can see up here is 38. Okay, so then we just simplify really, and this usually comes up in a calculator. How it might not come up in a calculator is if you've got for instance sine of 30 or one of the more straightforward non-calculated trigonometry, or cosine of, so basically what we've got here is x squared equals 49 plus 110.25 minus 147 cosine of 38. And bearing in mind, if you don't show complete working out with this squared, for instance, you might forget that it's x squared equals, and that's where quite a few pupils do go wrong. So once we've simplified all of this, and we've got x squared equals 43.4124192, what we've got to do now is we've got to get the x by itself, and again, very much like Pythagoras, we've got to bring over the squared to the other side. And when we bring a squared across to the other side, it becomes the opposite of squared, which of course is square root. Now in this case we don't take the positive and negative values of the answer here, of the square root, because you can't have a negative length if it exists. So basically a negative length doesn't exist, so we only take the positive length. Okay, so therefore the square root of 43.41 equals 6.59 to 2 decimal places. Okay, so now your turn to have a go at a few of those, and we've got 2 questions for you to have a go at, and so pause the video and have a go at them. Okay, so with any trigonometry question, step 1 is label. Now in this case here, what I've done is I've labelled 4 as B and C as 9.5. Okay, so 4 as B, let's have a look, 9.5, so 4 is B, and okay, so how I've labelled the triangle when I was working it out is I've labelled this side here as B, this side here is C, so therefore this side here is A. So this angle opposite little a is capital A, the angle opposite little b is big B, and the angle opposite little c is big C. So therefore C equals 9.5 and B equals 4.2, and angle A equals 37. Okay, so let's just try and work our way through this now. So here what we've got is step 1, label, and we've labelled the triangle AA, BB, CC. Next we write down our general formula, which in this case is a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine of a. And we do that, we know it's cosine rule because we've got 2 lengths in the included angle, as I explained earlier. So now we substitute our values, and b was 4.2, c was 9.5, and a was x, and the angle was 37 degrees, and that is big A. Okay, so let's just go back and check that. So A was 37, yeah, excellent. So now we substitute our values in to the equation. So B is 4.2, so it becomes 4.2 squared. C is 9.5, and then B is 4.2 and C is 9.5, and then angle A was 37 degrees. Then we simplify, and after we've simplified we get down to x squared equals 44.15888863. So now we're trying to get the x by itself, so therefore we've got to circle our x squared, move it across the equal sign, and it becomes the opposite of squared. Change side, change sign. So x squared becomes the square root, and so it'll be x equals the square root of 44.1588863. So the answer after you've taken the square root is 6.65 centimetres. Okay, so let's have a go at question 5 now. And question 5 was triangle, and it looked like this. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check to see how I've labelled 14. And in this case it doesn't matter because it's isosceles triangle. So the first thing that I would do is I would label the angle that I know as A. So therefore the side opposite is little a. I would label this one B. So therefore the side opposite is little b. And then I would label this vertex C, so therefore this little one here is C. So therefore small b and small c are both 14, and then angle A is the 55. Okay, so remember, always label first. So step 1, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write out what A, B and C are, just as a quick reminder. So what we've got is A equals x, B equals 14, C also equals 14, and angle A equals 55. Now just bearing in mind, again I'll repeat it, that if you were after b squared, for instance, b squared would equal a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cosine of b. Okay, so you can rearrange these letters. So now we substitute our numbers from the triangle into the general formula. So x squared equals 14 squared plus 14 squared minus 2 times 14 times 14, and that's the b and the c, times by the cosine of 55. X squared equals 196, which is 14 squared, times 2 really, or plus 196, minus 392 cosine of 55. Then we simplify. X squared equals 167.158037. So now we've got to get the x by itself, so we circle our squared, bring it over to the other side, and it becomes the square root, because square root is the opposite to squared. And if we work that out on the calculator, it's 12.93 centimetres to 2 decimal places. Okay, well done if you managed to get those two correct. So that is our lesson on finding a length of a non-right angle triangle using trigonometry cosine rule. If you have any questions, then please click on the link in the description and chat to us, and we are happy to help. Thank you for listening.